Hey everyone, I'm gonna read the two articles for today for you. Gonna help with your understanding. So the first one is from Common Sense Media, and it's called Why Your Kid Should Read Banned Books. So it says, what do the adventures of Huckleberry Finn, The Catcher in the Rye, The Great Gatsby, Native Son, To Kill a Mockingbird, Fahrenheit 451, and The Adventures of Captain Underpants have in common? At one time or another, someone has tried to ban them from classrooms and public or school libraries. The American Library Association, champions of free access to books and information, launched Banned Books Week in 1982 to celebrate the freedom to read. Libraries, bookstores, publishers, and teachers across the country use the week to highlight great books that people have banned and to spark a discussion about censorship. At Common Sense Media, we think reading banned books offers families a chance to celebrate reading and promote open access to ideas, both of which are keys to raising a lifelong reader. Why do people ban books? Often it's for religious or political reasons. An idea, a scene, or a character in the book offends their religion, sense of morality, or political view. Some folks feel they need to protect children from the cursing, morally offensive behavior, or racially insensitive language in a book. Or they think a book's content is too violent or too sexual. The Civil War novel, The Red Badge of Courage, has been banned for its graphic depictions of war. The edgy teen bestseller, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, has been banned for its descriptions of sexual behavior and alcohol and drug use. Profanity and an explicit scene featuring oral sex got Looking for Alaska on the banned list. Who's challenging these books? Parents, school board members, individuals, groups. Yet what's considered offensive may depend on the era or specific community. As the ALA argues, these challenges pose a threat to freedom of speech and choice, freedoms that Americans hold dear and are worth standing up for. Here are 5 good reasons for kids to read banned books. Today's edgy is tomorrow's classic. Original work pushes boundaries in topic, theme, plot, and structure. What's shocking today may be assigned in English class 5 or 10 years from now if it has true literary merit. The Great Gatsby is high school staple today, but was shocking when its gin-soaked pages were published in 1925. There's more to a book than the swear words in it. Many books have been banned for language that your kid has encountered before or will soon. Even potty humor, like in Captain Underpants, has caused people to call for a ban. A character's language may add realism to the story, or it may seem gratuitous or distracting. Your child can evaluate. Kids crave relatable books. Banned books often deal with subjects that are realistic, timely, and topical. Young people may find a character going through exactly what they are, which makes it a powerful reading experience and helps the reader sort out thorny issues like grief, divorce, sexual assault, bullying, prejudice, and sexual identity. The compelling teen rebels story, The Outsider, has been banned, yet many middle schoolers cite it as the book that turned them into a reader. Controversial books are a type of virtual reality. Exploring complex topics like sexuality, violence, substance abuse, suicide, and racism through well-drawn characters lets kids contemplate morality and vast aspects of the human condition, build empathy for people unlike themselves, and possibly discover a mirror of their own experience. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry is an eye-opening story of an African-American family facing racism in 1930s Mississippi, yet it's been banned for having racial slurs. And finally, they'll kick off a conversation. What did people find so disturbing in a book that they wanted to ban it, and to what extent was it a product of its time, or did it defy social norms of its era? For example, Harry Potter was banned by people who felt it promoted magic. Reading a challenged book is a learning experience and can help your kids define their own values and opinions of its content. So that's what Common Sense Media has about reading banned books. And then there's another site here that I want to read part of. Let's see. So this is from procon.org, and they do the pros and cons of current issues. So this one is about banned books, top 3 pros and cons. And I'm going to scroll to the part that I want here. So this part talks about why people ban books. And so they say sexually explicit content, offensive language, and unsuited to any age group are the top 3 reasons cited for requesting a book be removed. The percentage of Americans who think any book should be banned increased from 18% in 2011 to 28% in 2015, and 60% of people surveyed believe that children should not have access to books containing explicit language in school libraries. People who believe that parents and other adults should be able to remove or ban books from libraries argue that they have the right to decide what material their children are exposed to and when, that children should not be exposed to sex, violence, drug use, or other inappropriate topics in school or public libraries, and that keeping books with inappropriate content out of libraries protects kids, but doesn't stop people from reading those books or prevent authors from writing them. People who believe that no one should be able to ban or remove books from libraries argue that parents may control what their own children read, but don't have a right to restrict what books are available to other people. They believe that frequently challenged books help people get a better idea of the world and their place in it, and that books are a portal to different life experiences, and that reading encourages empathy and social emotional development. So at a glance, they put the pros and cons into kind of a list for you about whether parents or other adults should be able to ban books from schools and libraries. And I'm not going to read the whole big parts of it. I'm just looking at the big parts in bold here. So Pro 1, parents have the right to decide what material their children are exposed to and when. The con, or opposite side of that, is that parents may control what their own children read, but they don't have a right to restrict what books are available to other people. Pro 2 would be children should not be exposed to sex, violence, drug use, or other inappropriate topics in school or public libraries. So that's why it'd be good to ban those things. But then other people say many frequently challenged books help people get a better idea of the world and their place in it. So by seeing things that are different from what they're experiencing, they're understanding the world better. And finally, the last pro would be keeping books with inappropriate content out of libraries protects kids, but it doesn't stop people from reading those books or prevent authors from writing them. And the con would be books are a portal to different life experiences, and reading encourages empathy and social emotional development. So it's that same thing where they're learning about different types of people. However, it does protect them to not learn about things too young and too soon. So that's just kind of a glance of that list there. And then you've got the Common Sense Media. So the goal of your assignment, we just did this part here where it was either reading the 2 articles on your own or it was listening to my video. And then the next part is I'm asking you to make a pros and cons list. So I want you to talk about the benefits and disadvantages, the pros and the cons, of libraries banning certain books from their collections. So the main focus is what's good about banning certain books, what's not good about banning certain books. You can choose whether you'd like to make that pros and cons list just by typing it out and kind of putting it on a regular document, or whether you'd like to make some kind of table or chart where you have one side is pro and then the other side is con, and you just make a bulleted list. So either way, create that pros and cons list, and then you're going to submit it to the Banning Books Pros and Cons assignment post. Let me know if you have any questions.